What's up, everyone? What if you could create an entire month's worth of SEO optimized blog content in just one afternoon? Using Claude AI, I've cracked the code to creating content that actually ranks. And today, I'm sharing my exact process, including the game-changing prompt that I use to consistently create quality content that Google loves. Let's dive in.
Where AI meets ambition.
Hey there, I'm Michelle Anderson, and welcome to my channel where I help entrepreneurs leverage AI to scale their business without burning out. And if you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button because every week I'm going to share actionable AI strategies that can save you hours of work. Today, we're going to be talking about how to create content for your blog in record time, leveraging AI. So we're going to start out here. I'm going to show you my exact step-by-step process. And the main tools that I use for this are Perplexity and Claude. And if you caught my last video where I talked about the top tools that I use, the top language models, you'll know that Perplexity is great for doing research. It has access to the internet. It gives you the citations so that you can reference any of the citations that it uses in its research. And so that's where I generally start out when I'm writing blog posts. So before this point, which I want to show you the process, but before this point, what I would actually do is I would do a lot of keyword research. I would look at competitors' websites, look at their blog posts, see what they have, check out what's ranking, and use Google search to check out the keywords, the search volume, the volume that it shows up. And then once I've got all of that done, I've got my topic and I want to start creating a blog post about it. So I would first come to Perplexity. So I'm going to take you through and actually write a post here. So the first thing I would do, so this is what I've decided, how AI is revolutionizing small business, six game-changing benefits. So I'm going to put that in there because I've decided that's my topic. And I'm going to ask it to, can you research? Let me get my microphone out of the way. Can you research? So this is where I would start. And it's going to do the researching for me. Now I'm on for Perplexity. I found that I am on the free plan. I haven't needed so far to upgrade. I know there are some benefits, but there's just too many tools. So I've decided that the two that I pay for in terms of language models are ChatGPT and Claude. Now, this is what it's given me. So it's given me some really great answers here. We can look through. Now, obviously, you're going to read through this. I'm going to go through this in a little bit of a record speed, but it would be topics, obviously, that you are an expert on, and you're going to read through what it says. If you need to do any more, if you need to dig a little bit deeper, you would go through the process here. You would check out any statistics. This is where you can click on these little circles here, and it's going to show you where it got its information from. If you need to, you can click on it and actually go to the original article. So once you have sort of your information, you're going to take that information and you could put this all on like a document and arrange it how you want. But then I have a prompt here. And I'm going to go over some, do's and don'ts after, but I'm just going to show you how I use this prompt. I have it here. Let's kind of take a look at it. If you want access to this prompt, I have a link in the description below where it takes you to my free community, and you can actually get this prompt there. But you can see here, take the information. And so basically, this is what I'm going to do. I was going to paste the information down here that I've decided I want to have, right? I'm going to put it in here. So it's going to read, the prompt's going to read the info. It's going to go down here and see, oh, that's the information. on the keyword. Now I've decided what keywords I want, and I can have one keyword. I have a few here, and I want to take that bullet point out. There we go. So it's going to take the information on the keyword. This is very important for SEO, from below, and generate a fully SEO optimized article. Ensure to use all the relevant features of Markdown in order to create a truly unique and powerfully ranking article. This will include headings, internal links. This is important. So you can see here, there's another bit down here where I have actually gone and taken links. Now, as you start building more blog articles, you're going to want to add your links in there because it's really important for you to be interlinking in your website. And you don't want to just link anywhere. It is ideal, like if you have certain topics. For example, if I look at my services and I'm creating content around SEO, then I'm going to want my SEO articles to interlink. If I have marketing strategies, I'm going to want those to interlink and just kind of keep it in that, in those topics so that I can build an authority on those particular topics. And so Google sees that interlinking and starts to see you as an authority on those topics. And then you can see down here, I have image embed. So I've actually gone to my website. Now I have a WordPress site. So I've gone to my website and I've looked at the images that if I want to add new ones, I can. I copy the URL. You might be using a different builder for your website. So you just find where your image links are. And then I pasted some down in here. So it's going to actually create the article with the images embedded, with the links embedded. That's what's really great. This prompt actually sorts all of that out for you. So it kind of builds the structure of the article. It asked to, let me see where to say, write so that a 12-year-old would be able to understand it, because we really want the level to be easy to read. Taking the persona of an expert in the niche on this topic. So you do want to give it a persona or act as an expert in this. So we have this, take the persona of an expert, and giving it some more directions in terms of what language. I'm sure if you've all been on some websites that you've seen blog posts which you could tell were written by AI and very robotic. This is what we want to get away from, because Google is going to penalize it. First of all, that you're going to know it's very robotic, but also it's not useful for people. They're going to see that and they're not going to read the article. So it defeats the purpose of having it. So yes, so I've included all of this, my information, my keywords, my internal links, and I'm going to take all of this up to here, and I'm going to go into Claude, and I'm going to paste it. You can see it's right there, and then let's just see what it comes up with. Now, as always with things in AI, you're going to want to look at it, read it through it, tweak it. If you have specific experiences, stories, or anything like that, it is really important to also include that in there. This one is actually kind of coming up with some kind of, it says act as an expert with unique experiences, but I could take that and input my own personal experiences, which is actually better. So sometimes it does this, continue with the remaining sections. So I would just ask it to continue. But you can see here that it starts out, which is really good for blog writing, is to just have the key takeaways for those people who just want to come in and see, oh, okay, what's this article about? And so you can see here, I can copy this. And if I were creating, let's see, I'm going to go in here. I'm going to go to my posts. And this is where I would start adding in, the information. All right, so I can have it continue. You can see here that it says at the bottom, it's put the questions in here, but continue with the remaining sections, including suggested headlines. So I would actually have it continue with remaining sections, doing a few sections at a time. If you ask it to do too much all at once, this is where it can get a little wonky and have some problems. So asking it to break it down and do one section at a time is actually better. And then you can copy the sections. So once I have it go through and actually write the whole article, then I can, just for the purposes of this video, I'm just going to have it do the initial section. This is where I can take my second part of the prompt where I want it to actually convert the article into HTML. And that will give it some stylization, can make it a little bit more visually interesting. And so that's where I am going to paste this section in here, even though my article has not been fully written just yet. I've given it you can see in there the hex codes. This is my branding and what colors I wanted to use. So it's going through here and writing the code for me. Now, you would want to do this after you've made sure that the article is written as you want it. You could take it all into another document, do little edits to it, anything that you want it to do, and then come back here, paste it back in as it's edited, and then add the second part of this prompt. So you can see here, it's making it a lot more visual. And so I'm going to come here to the code because I want to copy that. And I want to add an HTML box in here. And let's paste this in here. I would need to go back and tweak it because the headings here, the color's not quite right. And sometimes that happens. I'd go back and say, well, even though it looks, let's look preview here, even though it's used these colors like this, they don't seem to be applied. So I would go back and tell it like, oh, the headings aren't the right color. You'll find as you go along, if you're doing this, you'll learn where you can find some of these colors or, some of the things and actually edit it directly in the code. But if that is like beyond you, you can just copy and paste. And as you go back and say, hey, the heading is pink and I need it to be my code, which is the hex code is 33485E. I need it to be that color. So could you please edit the code? And then you just kind of go back and, edit it. So that's basically how I create articles for my website. I kind of wanted to, before I let you go, just kind of go over a few common mistakes, because if you're creating your own prompts, there's things that you can keep in mind. And the number one thing that you want to keep in mind when you're creating blog articles is EEAT. This is Google's experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. This is what Google uses to, decide if your articles are worthy and rank them. And so this is why you want to get away from the robotic sounding articles. You don't want to just go into ChatGPT or even Claude and just say like, hey, write me an article about this, and then just copy and paste it in, which is what a lot of people actually do. You want to have it show your experience, show your expertise, be authoritative on the topic and trustworthy. You want to be able to show that. This is where like showing your personal experiences and make it more personalized is really good. You don't want to rely on templates. That will sound robotic. So for example, in this article, we explore 5 ways to improve your business. First, we will discuss. Second, we will discuss. Finally, we will do this. All those things that you probably learned back in grade school. And you want to do things like write this like you're having a conversation with a friend who runs a small business, include personal examples and casual transitions. You can actually take that as part of your prompt. So these are things that you can include in there. Not using transition words. So having short little sentences, exercise is good, it builds your muscle, improves health. You could say, write this with a natural flow and conversational transitions. Blend ideas together smoothly rather than stating them as separate facts. Having it too formal, it would not be, it depends, of course, on your audience. but you don't want, in general, the rule is you want to keep the reading level easy. So using things like it's imperative, and you want to explain it in simple everyday language that a small business owner, if that's whoever your target audience is, obviously, um, and definitely include those personal elements, include relevant personal anecdotes and real world examples. You could actually, as part of the prompt, put what include these experiences and actually give them those examples for it to use. And using some formulaic structure like lists, pros and cons. In conclusion, you want to weave those pros and cons naturally into the narrative. So you can see here, I'm not going to read this whole bad example article, but you can see if you take a moment and read it, it sounds very robotic. You do not want this kind of article. It's not going to rank well, and people aren't going to stay on the page and read it. You're going to want to use, there's some ideas here. Again, I can include this as well at the bottom of my prompt that I'm going to include if you want to go to my free community, which is in the link below. You can find the link. Anything that I share on this channel, any of the free resources will be in my free community. So, you can use any of these kind of things in your prompts to make stronger, better sounding articles in the end. And in the result, you're going to get something like this, something more conversational, something more interesting to read. Basically, if you're not going to want to read it, probably nobody else will as well. So these are just some ideas of things that you can include to be able to get out the most quality articles from your blog posts. But using this process can really speed up. So if you found this helpful, you are going to love what's coming next. I'm going to show you how to use AI to create stunning professional headshots and brand photos that look like they cost thousands and never need to hire a photographer. So hit that bell notification if you don't want to miss it. And if you want the complete prompts that I shared today, make sure you join my free community, and I'll see you in the next video.